Hello friends, this video is meant to teach you how to draw an ogive for a given data. So the data provided is weight in kgs, 50 to 60, 60 to 70, 70 to 80, 80 to 90, 90 to 100, 100 to 110, 110 to 120, and the number of workers, which also denotes the frequency, is 4, 7, 11, 14, 6, 5 and 3. So in order to draw the ogive, we have to first of all prepare the cumulative frequency table. So the last column is for cumulative frequency. Now for cumulative frequency, the first value will be the same as the given frequency, first given frequency. So 4 will remain as 4. Next we have 7 plus 4. That gives us 11. Next 11 plus 11 gives us 22. Then 14 plus 22. This gives us 36. Then 6 plus 36 gives us 42. Then 5 plus 42 gives us 47. And 47 plus 3 gives us 50. So the total frequency, if you add the frequency column, total frequency will come out as 50. And when you prepare the cumulative frequency table, in this case also the last cumulative frequency will come out to be 50. Now we have to draw an ogive based on these data and answer a few questions asked. That is, you have to find out, number 1, the median. Next, you have to find out the upper quartile. Then you also have to find out the lower quartile. And finally, it is given if weighing 95 kg and above is considered overweight, find the number of workers who are overweight. So 95 kg and above is considered overweight. Find the number of people who are overweight. Now here I have to consider the positive x-axis and the positive y-axis. Along the x-axis we will plot the class intervals, that is the weight, and along the y-axis we will plot the cumulative frequency. So here we are provided with 7 class intervals I can see. So I would prefer to take 10 squares as 10 units in my graph. So let me draw the x and y axis first. So this is the x axis. Then we have the y axis. Now so this is the y axis. Now since the origin is O, in the y axis I am going to count the number of workers starting from 0. But in the x-axis, the class interval does not start with 0 to 10, right? It starts with 50 to 60. So here I'm willing to take 50 and then all the upper class limits will be marked in this way. So this gap we will give a stretch mark in this way. So now 50, 60, 70, 80, all the upper class limits, 90, 100, 110, and finally 120. So this is the x-axis, and we have plotted here the weights, right? In the y-axis, we are going to now plot till 50 workers, right? Till 50 workers. So if we start from 0 here, now it is up to you what type of scale you need. Now if I need to accommodate 50 workers in the y-axis, I can take 10 squares as 10 units. That is 1 square is 1 unit. Then it will be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So my graph can have 10 here, 20 here, 30, 40, and finally 50. So what I have done here, it is necessary to write down the scale in the right hand side corner. So let me wipe out a portion of my data here. For the x-axis, I have taken 1 square equal to 1 unit, and also for the y-axis I have taken the same, that is 1 square, that is the smallest square, as 1 unit. Fine. Now the cumulative frequencies that we have should be marked here in the y-axis. So the first value is 4. So if you count accurately, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 will come here. Next we have 11. So 11 comes here. Then we have 22. This is the position of 22 here in the y-axis. Then we have 36. It is here. Okay. Then 42 comes here. Next we have 47. 4, 5, 6, 7. 47 is here. Then we have 50. This is the last value. So all the cumulative frequencies I have marked in the y-axis so that plotting becomes easy. Now we have to plot each of these upper class limits with the cumulative frequencies, with their corresponding cumulative frequencies. So if you look into the first class interval that is given, it is 50 to 60, right? It was given 50 to 60 and cumulative frequency was 4. Then it was given 60 to 70. The cumulative frequency was given as 11, right? So we have to now plot each of these upper class limit. Which are the upper class limits here? First upper class limit is 60, second upper class limit is 70, and so on. And the cumulative frequencies are 4, 11, and so on. So for the first upper class limit 60, we have cumulative frequency 4. So here actually we are plotting cumulative frequency. Let me write in the y-axis. Okay, you have to write each of these. Now first point is plotted. Next upper class limit 70 with cumulative frequency 11. So this is the next one. 70 here. In the x-axis 70 is here, and in the y-axis 11 is here. So corresponding to it, this is the second point. Next upper class limit 80, cumulative frequency 22. So it is here. Next upper class limit is 90, cumulative frequency is 36. So we have 36 here. It has to come somewhere here. Okay, this is 90,36 plotted. Then 100 to be plotted with 42. So 42 is here and it comes here. This is 100. So straight up. Next 110 with 47. So this is 110, 47 is here. It is this point. And the last value is 120 for 50. So it is here. So these points you can see are rising up. So the curve will also rise up, and this ogive is also known as less than ogive. Now these points are to be plotted freehand. Using a pencil, you will just join the points freehand. We are not supposed to use a ruler. So let us join, and if you can, please try to join it. Join all the points at one stroke. So more or less I could plot and draw the curve smoothly. Now this first point that was plotted against the first upper class limit 60 is to be joined with the lower class limit of the first class interval. Okay, and the last point is to be extended slightly. Now since this is a freehand curve, the informations that we are going to obtain now for the median or the upper quartile, lower quartile and so on, the informations will not be accurate. It will give you an approximate value for each of these questions because this is a freehand curve. So now let us find out what is the median. The value of sum of the the value of the sum of the frequencies is 50. So here I'll say capital N equals to 50. For median, we will find out n by 2th observation. So n by 2th observation means the 25th observation. Now this 25th observation is to be found out in the y-axis. So we have to see where is the position of 25 in the y-axis. Now this is 22 here. You can see my pen, children. 22, 23, 4, 5. So this is the position of 25. Now from 25, using a ruler and a pencil, I have to draw a line parallel to the x-axis touching the ogive at one point. Fine. Next, from this point in the ogive, I have to drop a perpendicular to the x-axis. So when I drop a perpendicular to the x-axis, I will see that this particular point, that is 82, turns out to be the median. So the median is 82. So please give an arrow because we have come in this direction. Okay. Now let us find the upper quartile. Upper quartile is denoted by Q3 and it is equal to 3n by 4, and this is equal to 37.5th observation. So 37.5, I can see it is over here. Using a ruler in the same manner as we found the median, we are going to do the same thing here. We will first of all draw a line from 37.5 parallel to the x-axis touching the ogive at a point, and from this point in the ogive we will drop a perpendicular to the x-axis, and I can see it is very close to 93 but not exactly 93, it is 92.5 kgs here. So upper quartile, that is Q3, is 93.5 kg, and we found the median as 82 kgs, right? Next, let us find the lower quartile, Q1. Q1 is simply n by fourth observation, and this is equal to 12.5th observation. So now 12.5 is here, right? We can see this point here. So using a ruler again in the same manner, we have to draw a line parallel to the x-axis touching the ogive at a point, and then from this point in the ogive we will drop a perpendicular to the x-axis, and it is 71.5 kgs. Next, the fourth part of the question here, 95 kg and above is considered overweight. So let us find out 95 kg in the x-axis, because the weight is here in the x-axis itself. So 95 will be somewhere here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, this is the position of 95 kg and weighing 95 kg and above. So 95 kg to 120 kg, how many people fall under this category? We have to find that out, and hence we have to now draw a line parallel to the y-axis starting from 95 in the x-axis, right? So this is how I'm drawing a line parallel to the y-axis, and it will touch the ogive at a point. Now from this point in the ogive we will draw a line parallel to the x-axis touching the y-axis at a point. So now I can see that it is touching the y-axis at the point 39. 39 workers are here whose weight is 95 kg, and total of 95 workers have weight less than 95 kg. Now more than 95 kg, if you look at 120 kgs here, again from here if you draw a line, we all know it will go to the last value of cumulative frequency, that is 50, right? So 39 workers have weight below 95 kg. So 50 workers minus 39 workers, that gives us 11 workers having weight above 95 kg. That means 11 workers are overweight. So this was the first question on ogive. So as I said, this graph work will always give you an approximate value. So as I have found here median as 82, your answer may vary by 1 units. Your answer may range between 81 to 83. So any answer in between 81 to 83 as the median will be considered correct. Similarly, upper quartile, your answer ranging between you can say 92 to 94 will be considered correct. So 1 units to the right or to the left is accepted correct. Similarly, lower quartile can be considered as 70 to 72 kg correct. 70 to 72 kgs as the correct lower quartile. Now for the fourth part, I found 11 workers. Please keep in mind, number of workers should not be considered in fractions. You cannot say that there are 11.5 workers, because we cannot say count people in terms of half people. It has to be a whole number. Neither can you say it is 10.5 workers. It has to be a whole number. It can be 10 workers, it can be 12 workers also, or 11 workers. So these three values will be considered correct for the fourth part of the answer. So here we have the second question. You can see we are given monthly income and number of employees. So for monthly income 6,000 to 7,000, number of employees 20. 7,000 to 8,000 it is 45, 8,000 to 9,000 it is 65, 9,000 to 10,000 it is 95, 10,000 to 11,000 it is 60, and 11,000 to 12,000 it is 30. And the last one is 12,000 to 13,000, it is only 5 employees. Now we have to prepare the cumulative frequency column here. The first value will remain as 20. Next 45 plus 20, this gives us 65. Then 65 plus 65 gives us 130. Then 95 plus 130 gives us 225. Then 60 plus 225 gives us 285. 285 plus 30 gives us 315, and 5 plus 315 gives us 320. So n is 320. We are supposed to find the median. Next we are supposed to find the number of workers whose income is below rupees 8,500. Third part, we have to find the number of workers whose income is above rupees 11,500. And the fourth part, we have to find the upper quartile. That is Q3. Now here, so we have to plot the monthly income in the x-axis and the cumulative frequency in the y-axis. So let me draw the x-axis here. Yes, and then I'm drawing the y-axis here. In the y-axis, we start with the number 0, that is the origin, with 0 employees. But in the x-axis, we have to start with rupees 6,000, not with 0. So I have to give a kink here. Okay, so first value is 6,000, then all the upper class limits to be plotted: 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, 11,000, 12,000, and 13,000. Now we have taken in the x-axis, we have taken 1 square as 100 units. In the y-axis, let me consider 1 square as 10 units. Okay, this is 10, 20, 30. So this will be the position of 100. This is 200. This is 300. You can see the total frequency is 320. The value of n is 320. So the position of 320 also to be marked here. I've shown here. So the scale in the y-axis is 1 square equal to 10 units. Okay. Now let us plot. So the first class interval, upper class interval is 700, and we have to plot 20. Okay, before we start plotting, let me mark down all the cumulative frequencies found out in the y-axis. So the first cumulative frequency 20 is here, then 65, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 65 is here. Next we have 300, 130, 10, 20, 30. So 130. Next we have 225, 10, 20, 25, 225. Then we have 285, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, 285. Then 315. This is 10 and 315 is just below 320. So 315 is here. Okay. Then 320 is already here. Now let us plot. So for 7,000 it is 20. This is the first point. For 8,000 it is 65. So we are plotting it here. This is the position of 8,065. Next with 9,000 it is 130. So 130 is here. This is 9,000 and 130. Next 10,000 with 225. So 225 you can see it is somewhere here. So 225, this point, okay, for 10,000. Next for 11,000 it is 285. So 285 it is 11,000. This is 315 should come here, just below the two squares. This is 315 and this is 300. Now we have to join all these points freehand with a sharp pencil. So you can see the curve is rising. Okay, and this first point should be joined with the first lower class limit. So now please observe that each of the cumulative frequency curve or the ogive that we have drawn is always in the shape of an elongated S. Okay, it is like this. It should not be a distorted figure. It should be a smooth freehand curve. Now let us find the different parts asked in the question. The first is finding out the median. We know n is 320, so median is n by 2th observation, that is 320th observation, that gives 160th observation. So find out 160 in the y-axis. I can see 130 here. So 40, 50, 60, 160 is here. 160 is here. Now we have to use a ruler to draw a line from 160 in the y-axis parallel to the x-axis, touching the ogive at a point, and then from this point in the ogive we have to drop a perpendicular to the x-axis, and I can see the median is approximately equal to 9,100, 200, 350. So rupees 9,350 is the median. So we have come from the y-axis to the x-axis here. This is the median, 9,350. Next, let us find out the number of workers whose income is below rupees 8,500. So since we have plotted the monthly income here in the x-axis, let me write this also, monthly income here, and we have plotted the cumulative frequency here. Cumulative frequency. So now we have to find out the position of 8,500 rupees in the x-axis. This is the position of 8,000, then 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. This is 8,500. Okay, So from 8500 we will draw a line perpendicular to the x-axis, and then from here, from this point in the ogive, we'll drop a line which is more or less very close to 100. Since we are talking of the number of workers, so I cannot write it in terms of fractions, so I can say it as 97 or 99. So I can say that the number of workers whose income is below 8500 is 99. Next, number of workers who get above 11500. So 11500 is here. This is the position of 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. So 11500 is here. Again, in a similar manner as we did in this case, here also in a similar manner we will draw a line perpendicular to the x-axis, that is parallel to the y-axis, touching the ogive at a point, and from this point we have to draw a line that goes to 300. Now 300 workers get below 11500, so this will be the number of workers getting above 11500. So getting 11500, we have 300 workers, so total of 20 workers get above 11500. That is, senior employees who get above 11500, they are 20 in number. Next, finding out the upper quartile, Q3. Q3 is 3n by 4. So 3 into 320 by 4, that is 3 into 80 is 240. So 240th observation we have to find in the y-axis. So in the y-axis 240 is here. Okay, 240 is here. So now from here 240 we have to draw a line parallel to the x-axis, touching the ogive at a point, and from this point in the ogive we have to drop a perpendicular to the x-axis. So if we count, it is 100, 200, 300, very close to 10,300. So upper quartile is rupees 10,300. So I believe these two questions solved today has given you a clear concept of drawing a less than ogive and finding out the different terms like median, upper quartile, lower quartile, or any other data that is necessary from the graph. So this much for today. Thank you. Take care. Good day.